What are you yearning for deep within? And what is stopping you from creating the magic that you deserve in your relationship? Good morning, everybody. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is explaining one of the ways that you prevent yourself from creating magic in your relationship. Good morning, Eva. How are you, darling? Are you well today? It's very overcast in Paris. I don't know how it is in Greece, but in Paris it's reasonably overcast. What I was just saying, if you've just joined, is that today I'm going to be looking at something that stops you. Good morning, Evelina. That stops us from creating magic in our relationships. So give me a thumbs up. Do you want to create magic in your relationship? Type in yes in the comment section. Yes, if you want to create magical relationships. Now, what do I mean by magical relationships? When we watch a Disney movie, what do we see? There's stars and there's lightning and there's that electricity. It's that feeling deep within you that makes you come alive. Yes, yes, yes. That is amazing. Because if you, like me, want to create magic in your life, then grab your journals, because today is going to be incredible. The weather is perfect. Okay, well, enjoy the weather for me. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to be creating magic today. A lot of what I'm going to be talking to you about today comes from a book called The Dance of Intimacy that was written by Harriet Lerner, and I highly recommend every single one of you buy the book, A Dance of Intimacy by Harriet Lerner. It literally will transform the way that you think. Good morning, Pam. Okay, so yes, in the last video, what we spoke about was a little bit of energy and how energy works. So let's go back there for a bit, shall we? All right. So in every relationship, there are two people. In every relationship, there are two people. Now, what happens in a relationship is that a dance of intimacy, yes, Eva. What happens in every single relationship is that there is a dance that takes place. Now, what does it mean to be a dance? Now, there are two people. When you're dancing, one person's leading, one person's following, yes? And it's the same in every relationship. In every relationship, there is a pursuer and a distancer. A pursuer and a distancer. Now, what is a pursuer? A pursuer is somebody who pursues the other person in the relationship. And the distancer is the person who keeps their distance, keeps on moving back. So let's have a look at energy. We know that we create defense mechanisms. Now, there's a theory that talks about how you feel about intimacy comes from the relationship that you had with your mother during the first 2 years of your life. We've got loads of different theorists that talk about how the first 2 years are the most important when it comes to developing intimacy. There's loads of psychological evidence for this. But Harriet Lerner talks about it slightly differently, and she talks about how the first 2 years in your relationship, your mother is very important, because what happens is that either your mother creates this distance between you and her in terms of physical distance. So let's say, for example, she was very sick in the first 2 years. If she was very sick and she was in the hospital, for example, you might feel that there is a sense of separation and a distance between the two of you. So there was an unconscious, now none of this is obviously, we honor our parents and we love our mothers, but this all happens unconsciously. So there could be a distance there. Or what could happen is that the mother looks to her child as an extension of her. Like we were talking about yesterday, the mother looks to the child to fill up something within them that is missing at that particular time. So here's the energy pot, and the mother basically looks to the child to fill up that energy instead of finding that energy from within herself and filling up that pot. Now, it doesn't matter, of course it matters, but here the heart of what I'm saying is it doesn't matter what your mother did. But what happens is that a belief system was created, okay? A belief system was created, and that belief system becomes unconscious, and the way that you responded energetically, as we know on a heart level, creates a defense mechanism of how you feel when you get into an intimate relationship. All right, are you with me so far? A little bit of theory. You give me a thumbs up if you're with me. Feel free to ask questions as we go through. So, let's have a look at how this manifests in a relationship. You're currently in a relationship, or you're not. Have a look at all the relationships in your life with your parents or with your current partners. I know some of you are with partners at the moment. Or ever you in your relationship with your son, or whatever the case may be. And you look at, okay, so there's two questions I'd like you to answer for me today. The first question is, how do I create space in my relationship? Now, when you feel unsafe, when you're in a relationship and you feel that there is an imbalance in energy, you want to create space because you need space to feel protected. Now, let's have a look at energy. Now, we all have belief systems, and the belief system dictates how we see the world. Okay. Now, these belief systems we develop as defense mechanisms to protect us. Now, let's imagine, for example, your belief system is something like, unless the partner is constantly giving you love, the defense mechanism is you need physical affection in order to feel safe. Now, relationships go through two different parts. The first is the first is when you first see someone and you fall in love with someone, and you're looking at kind of reaching a oneness, and you're reaching a relationship. And then once you're committed and you move in with one another, the dynamic shifts. It shifts from getting the partner to avoiding being rejected. So in the beginning, what happens is when you're first with someone, your focus is on everything that you love about them and how you want to spend your time with them and how it's really lovely and you want to get them. But once you've got them, it's about not losing them. So there's two aspects. Getting them, once you get them, you're scared about losing them. Now this is where the dynamic of energy comes in play, because when you are scared that you're going to lose somebody, you step into your defense mechanism, right? When you're scared of being rejected, you step into your defense mechanism. So your defense mechanism is either a distancer or a pursuer, all right? So this energy comes from the defense mechanism, which comes from the mind, okay? The mind creates a certain energy. Your thoughts that you have vibrate at an energy frequency. The thoughts that you have vibrate at an energy frequency. So your unconscious thoughts, as well as your conscious thoughts, vibrate at a frequency. Now this is powerful, guys. So your unconscious thought is, I don't want to lose my partner. So what's going to happen if you are a pursuer is that you're going to put actions in place that try and prevent them from leaving you. So if you're a pursuer, what happens is you think a thought, that unconscious energy then goes into the other person's area and you pursue them, you go into their emotional space and you try and hold on to them. All right, so here you are holding on to them because you don't want to leave them. So you maybe do a lot for them. So the pursuer will, constantly make you coffee in the morning, let's say, for example, or always buy you things, or hi, are you okay? Keep on checking up on you. There's a constant going into your space. Now, this is your space over here. And this is their space. This space is sacred. This space and this space are sacred in a relationship. In order for you to heal, in order for you to have an intimate relationship, it is vitally important that you honor this space and that you honor this emotional space of the partner that you are with. Now, this area over here is the space that you feel uncomfortably safe to be in or allow your partner to be in. All right. And for him, this is the space that he feels uncomfortably safe for you to be in. Okay. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And this space in the middle over here is where you both feel safe to meet in the middle in terms of energy. So let's say, for example, you're the pursuer. What you've done is you've gone past the middle space where he feels safe or she feels safe. You've gone past the uncomfortably safe space for you to be in energetically, and you've not only gone into their sacred emotional space, but you're now holding on to them. You're now in, and you're now waiting there, and you're hibernating in that space. Now, what's going to happen as a reaction, because the distancer feels very unsafe when anyone comes into their emotional space, so they're going to go backwards. They're going to retreat. They're going to distance themselves. You're going to see them distancing themselves. That's going to cause the same emotional fear response of needing to go and attach yourself to that person. So they're going to keep on distancing themselves. So the dance is going to be a cyclic process. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. So how do you create space in your relationships? If you are this person, if you are a distancer, not even if you're a distancer, when you are feeling unsafe, when there is this fear response and you need space, how do you create space? Do you sit in front of the television with your glass of wine? And you sit with your arms crossed over, and your partner comes in and they say, hi, how was your day? And you're like, fine. And you just ignore them? Do you go into a room and close the door? Do you go for a walk? What is it that you do? And then ask yourself, what is the energy behind that which you do? Now, is the energy rejecting the action of the other person, or is the energy of what you're doing, I am honoring my space? Let me say that again. Let's say, for example, you need space and you close the door in your spare room or in your study or whatever the case may be. And let's play it out. Your partner comes home, he's like, hi, honey, I'm home. And you ignore him. Okay? You're ignoring him. Is that a response? Is that a reaction? Because you're honoring yourself, because you're rejecting him? If he opens the door, where is he? Is he going into your space? But the thing is, if you say to him, hi honey, I'm just in my room, I'm just needing some time to honor myself, I've had a bad day, you are expressing. So what you're doing is that energy, what color can I use? You're in your room, you're in this space, you're honoring. He comes in, he says, hi honey, I'm home. And he meets you here. Now what you're doing by not responding to him is you're rejecting his response in a way, aren't you? You're rejecting his response. instead of just going into the middle and saying, okay, honey, I'm just spending some time with myself. I'll be out in 10 minutes and we can connect then. All right, so you're in the middle. Now, what the pursuer is likely to do, if you say, honey, if you don't tell him that you're honoring yourself, the pursuer is likely to feel very unsafe because you're rejecting him. And he's going to come into your area. He's going to be like, oh, honey, I just bought you a cup of tea, for example. But he's not doing it to honor you. He's doing it because he's scared that there's that distance and he doesn't want to lose you. Are you with me? What he could do is he could say, okay, sure, honey, I'll leave you. Would you like a cup of tea? And then you can say, yes, I'd like a cup of tea, or no, thank you. But it's about honoring where that person is. So what do you do when you feel unsafe and you need some space? What do you do? The second question, what do you do when you need closeness? So if you are the person who needs intimacy, who needs emotional connection, what do you do? Do you go into the room that has a closed door? Do you continuously buy gifts? Do you go and sit next to them on the couch? And again, what is the energy? Now, awareness is one thing. All right, this is very important because unless you are aware of the dynamic you play and your partner plays, there is unconscious manipulation that takes place. There is unconscious manipulation. Because if you unconsciously know that by distancing yourself, he will give you more attention, what happens is that people manipulate that on an unconscious level. Okay? So being aware allows you then to not manipulate your partner, and it also allows you then to choose. Choose how you are going to interact with your partner. Now, this is the very powerful, scary thing. We need to start being authentically honest about how we feel and how the person makes us feel, and explain that it is important that what you do is you meet. This is the compromise, yes, in terms of communication, but for me, this video is about meeting in the middle of the conscious, unconscious energy dance between the two of you. It is about your thoughts meeting in the middle, finding a way to communicate, yes, on the mind level, because we are a spiritual embodiment and we communicate through our thoughts and we think through our thoughts. So it's finding the compromise in the middle here, finding how you can connect in a vibrational level over here, and then finding a way how you can connect on a soul level over here. Because what happens is that when you allow your partner to speak, you often feel guilty and you feel bad. And this is something that happens, is that after you spend time in the room, you might cut that short because you think, oh my God, I'm a bad girlfriend. I should be spending time with my partner. And you begin to judge yourself. So then you give up honoring yourself. You give up honoring yourself to please your partner. So you haven't honored yourself, and you haven't really honored your partner, because what you've done is you've given in to his unconscious game. So for me, creating magical relationships is about, this is what I mean, guys, by fully expressing yourself, is being in this space. Him, her being in this space and meeting here, looking objectively, honoring the space. You may not agree with this space, but that doesn't matter, guys. We need to honor this person. And like we said in our session yesterday, we said, when you are honoring you, when you are vibrating at your frequency, there is going to be a shift in the energy between your relationship, and they're either going to stay and you're going to create magic, or you're going to part ways because you've learned all that you needed to learn from that particular person. So the light within me greets the light within you. Sometimes I might say something that you don't agree with. But that's okay, because you honor this space. Sometimes people might react to my stuff in a particular way that I get defensive about. But that defense is just because I'm here. I've reacted to the fear of rejection. When people say something that they don't like about you, it is that fear of being rejected. But when we connect here, we know that it doesn't matter, because the thoughts can think what they want. But we are divinely connected on the level of the soul. So the light within me greets the light within you as we complete today's session. But before we complete, let's have a look at answering some of the questions over here. Okay, good morning everybody. Eva's got a journal, very good. Very interesting what happens with the distance created from the relationships. Yes, very, very interesting. The dynamic between a child and a mother. There's been loads of research done on it, and it's absolutely fascinating. Okay, thank you, lovely. Great examples today. Sometimes we need to create our space to be alone. Very true. But unconsciously, we need some attention when we are alone and need some care. Yes. So why do you need the space? You need the space actually because you've gone into a space of not feeling safe. So you retreat to try and recharge and try and find, try and fill up from your soul, right? But here's the interesting thing is, unless you're aware of this dynamic, unless you're aware of the truth, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you retreat, the more alone you feel. But here's a very good point. You've just reminded me, Eva, what's a very, very important point is if you are honest with your partner and you say, I need a little bit of attention now. I'm really feeling insecure, or I feel unsafe, or I need to spend some time with you because I'm feeling that I need you. But you're saying that not from a space of you want him from a taking. You're expressing it from a true space of, you know what? The inner child within me just really wants some love. Can you please give me some love? Versus manipulating the situation. How can the other person understand that and give that? Very good question. So unconsciously, they understand. On a spiritual level, they understand, but on a mental level, we don't understand. So this is the thing in relationships, is we very rarely, number one, express what we need because we don't know what we need. Okay, we don't express what we need because actually we don't know that it's the scared inner child that actually just wants some love. So how do we get the other person to understand and give that? One, we can only make them understand as much as they are open to understanding and as much as they are willing to give. So you can ask, but you ask from here, the middle here. You say, I need love, please. Can you please give me some attention? If they are willing to meet you here, then that's beautiful. But if they can't meet you here, or they're not willing to meet you here, then unfortunately we can't force them, because then that would be dishonoring them, if that makes sense. That's what you thought. We don't know what we need. Yeah, we sometimes don't know what we need, which is quite. This is why we're here on earth, is to uncover what it is that we actually need. So thank you so much to every single one of you. I wish you an absolute wonderful day. As you go through your day, my encouragement is that you begin to become aware of the unconscious dance of energy between you and the people in your life. Start to answer the question, how is it that I create space? And how is it that I create closeness? And are they an expression of your soul, the way you create space and the way you create closeness? Or are they a manipulation of the mind that is a reaction from the fear of not wanting to be rejected? Lots of love to you. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, everybody. Bye.